y'all need anything, let me know, okay? All right. Peter went up. He went upstairs.
Welcome, please, welcome, brother, welcome. Thank you. I want you to see this before you, because this is a portrait that a black minister done of me. I want one. I want to arrange for him to do one of you.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
He passes the church too. But this is my conference room here, so please welcome. Please. Thank you. This is work I've been doing since I was a teenager, working for Dr. King. I am just so honored and thrilled to have you all here. And it literally brings tears to my eyes, because the destruction of families that the United States is doing today, we were the first victims of the destructions of our families. So I don't know who in West Africa are my cousins. I want to visit Sierra Leone before God calls me home. That beautiful boulevard in Freetown, I want to walk on that boulevard. I want to see where the ships stole the people. So I'm just thrilled to have you here. And to say, Mr. Ambassador, God gonna let me live long enough to see you be president.
Very beautiful.
I've been talking to him about that. This is a political season for America. One of the things I wanted to do with you all was to tell you how important the vote of Africans who live in America and in Texas is. Nobody reaches out to the African population because there's no community. See, there's no Sierra Leone community, there's no Nigerian community. Like, there's a black community over here, there's a Mexican community over here. So the African community is spread all over. But the political power and potential for your votes is extremely important and significant. The African vote in Texas represent the balance of power between Harris County, which is Houston, Williamson County, which is Austin, Tarrant County, which is Fort Worth, and Dallas County. There are almost 800,000 registered Africans. Now, most of y'all have what they call dual citizenship. You're still citizens of your home, but you also have citizenship here in Texas and in America. I want to figure out a way to pull that power together. You have the balance of power in the state of Texas. Don't you know, if 500,000 Africans voted, you control the state, because you join the Negro vote, you join the Mexican vote, and the liberal vote, and the Jewish vote, and you represent the balance of power. Birmingham. That's the streets of Birmingham, Alabama in 1963. Those fire hoses could literally knock you down and cut your skin. If it hit your eye, it could put your eyeballs out. So the suffering of all of our people is tied to Dr. King and to our struggle for justice, not just here but all over the world. Our commitment to our Lord and Savior is a part of the civil rights history. So I am just here to say thank you all for coming, and please let me do anything I can do to help you all on this. Parkland Hospital have committed to helping us develop medical stuff that we can ship to Sierra Leone, that you can take them home and help our people. So we're gonna, before you leave here, we're going to be talking to Bernard Lackman. He'll be back tonight, so he'll be at the program tonight with us about helping us organize the hospitals to simple stuff like gloves, covers for your shoes, that deals with contamination.
Isolation.
Yeah, I got involved in this. First, I used to be a hospital administrator, that I shouldn't have been, but I was. Now I ran a black hospital. But during the Ebola crisis, I got involved in this, finding out that simple things could stop the spread of those kind of contagious diseases, like masks. Simple stuff.
Yeah.
So we need to work together so we can ship stuff like that to you. You can distribute it. That will also help you in terms of building an image of somebody who obviously care about his people. I see it in your eyes. Yeah, I saw it when you all was dancing. I wanted to dance with you, but I'm too old. I jumped on there. I was worried about coming back down. So these are things we want to do with you. And my commitment to you is, all I want from you is stay close to God and help our people. And I will do what I can to help you.
Thank you, sir. Well, Reverend, on behalf of my colleagues, we thank you very much for receiving us. Just being with you and in this building, knowing the history, is an inspiration. You and your folks had to go through a struggle for basic rights, voting rights, to be treated equally like everybody else. In our societies now in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, we are evolving. We're still trying to learn to govern ourselves properly. We still want to attract investments to support our young populations. In my country right now, over 40% of the population is below 18. 60% is below 35. So we have to create economic opportunities, growth, accelerate economic growth so that these kids can have jobs, can have good education, and move forward. We also have to deal with the health issues, as you mentioned. We've gone through the devastating experience of Ebola. Ebola showed the fragility of our medical infrastructure. It just collapsed. And ourselves, Liberia, Guinea, we're still trying to rebuild. We are also experimenting with democracy. The good news is for Sierra Leone, we've gone through a terrible civil war, but we've also had 2 successful transfers of power. Democracy we're experimenting with. Our elections are not entirely credible, but at least we're making an effort. So as a nation, we are in transition. We have a new government that is also determined to bring socio-economic development. I'm in the opposition. But for a democracy to work, you need a government and you need checks and balances. So part of what NGC, our party, has to provide is that check on executive authority. We have to make sure the government works for the people. We have to make sure they respect the rule of law, the Constitution, and also human rights. It is very easy for governments to exceed their authority. So we have to make sure, as you had to do here on the civil rights, to make sure that the people's rights are defended, that you become a voice for the voiceless as well. So we are in that phase now. We are a new party, and we created a new party because we were opposed to tribalism. We were opposed to unconstitutionality. We established some values and came together and called ourselves a coalition of progressives. So we called our party a National Grand Coalition, because we believe we need coalitions. Also, when you look at the demographics, with 60% of our population below 35, you realize that, look, these kids are millennials. Their ideas are different. They're on Facebook, they're on WhatsApp. They're getting new information. They can't all think alike. So we wanted to give them a broad platform where they can rally, but rally around values. What is missing sometimes in our politics is values. People don't commit themselves to an ideology or value system. They're just looking for opportunity and access to wealth.
Well, Mr. Ambassador, let me share something with you. The lack of values is not limited to Sierra Leone. We have a disease of that in the American government, where there's no values at all. And as we struggle to save the next generation from immortality, morality, we must be leaders that has values. When Fode told me how long you and your wife have been together, I know you're a good man. You open up markets for Sierra Leone that could bring wealth to Sierra Leone, but it has to be done where, now my problem with some of the African leadership is that it's all for me. My money, my cars, my house. No, I want to work with somebody who want to help our people, build wealth for everybody. That, like you say, has morals. So morals and dignity go together. I want to work with you all to do this. We got some short time, so what I'd like for you all to do is come into my office. I want to have pictures from my wall. I have a wall in my office called a wall of fame. Andrew Young calls it a wall of shame.
Amen.
Shut up. But I grew up calling Andrew Young's parents Mom and Papa. His brother was my roommate in college.
Good news is Andrew Young and I visited Elmina Palace
I talked to him
in Ghana. We were together. With
Martin,
Ted Turner.
Martin Luther King's son sends his love and his best wishes to you. I talked to him this morning, told him I would be seeing you. We had a long talk this morning. I'm going to see them in a couple of weeks here on August the 28th, which is the 55th anniversary of the I Have a Dream speech.
Okay.
But instead of going back to Washington, we're going to the border where Donald Trump is separating children from their mothers. So we're going to celebrate Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech at the border with Latino families whose children have been stolen from them. So I will see Martin in a couple of weeks.
If you talk to Andrew Young, say to him...
No, we're going to call him before you leave. We're going to call
Andy.
Andy.
With whom you visited Elmina Palace with Ted Turner in Ghana.
Andy Young and Ted Turner too, no good. They ought not be allowed to travel together.
We're all together with Kofi and
Andy was in that summit.
You know, when he did his DNA,
yes, he told me that he's been traced to Sierra Leone.
Yeah, but we'll call Andrew before we leave here. But we're gonna go into my private office. That's my wife with me and a football player. Colonel Cottrell was the richest black man in Texas. He had Proline hair care products. He got rich by selling hair care products to Africa.
Rabbit meat.
Okay, Bill Harris, my friend here, took this picture here. This is Lucy Johnson, Lyndon Johnson's daughter, with me. And both of us got tears in our eyes. We're talking about Lady Bird. This is me. That's Air Force One that LBJ had built. And of course, that's Bill with his puppy. That's my friend Bill.
There's Lucy's tears.
Yeah, that's me and Lucy crying about her mother. This is my wife with Al Sharpton. I talked to Sharpton last night. I had to do a talk show with him last night. And I told him we were going to be together. Because this is Martin Luther King's son with my wife. And if you all look right here, this is an important picture here. This is my wife when she was younger. And see where her feet is? That's where Vala Lusa was shot in the head, and you can see where Dolores is crying, my wife. This is on the highway between Selma and Montgomery. We call it the Bloody Path because so much blood was shed on that highway. This lady is dead now. Her name was Johnny Carr. Johnny Carr and Rosa Parks grew up together from the first grade to the 12th grade, best friends. This lady with Rosa Parks planned the Montgomery bus boycott. And she's passed on now. This is me with my friend Hank Aaron. Hank is one of the greatest baseball players ever to play. Hank Aaron and Jackie Robinson was big supporters of Dr. King and in the Civil Rights Movement. He and I became friends when we were kids. These are all civil rights lawyers that still work with me. This is me and my homeboy who we joined the Civil Rights Movement together, went to jail, was beat together. All of these guns are guns I bought off the streets of Dallas for my children. I've bought over over 20,000 guns off the streets of this city over a 30-year period, not only one time. But these are guns that I've taken off the streets of the city. Because this is Dr. Lowry, who is still alive, Dr. King's oldest living friend. And Donna Brazil, Donna's on CNN, I think.
Yeah.
But we grew up together. Because that's my wife and my grandchildren. That's me on the hunger fast. When I was on the hunger fast at the steps of City Hall for 18 days and 18 nights, I wrote Meals on Wheels, which is a program today. I wrote Food Stamps, which is a program today, because thus saith the Lord, feed the hungry. That's me and Andy when we were a little younger. Me and Reverend Wright, when I was on that hunger fast, as you can see, we were young men now. He's still living too, but of course and when we was on that hunger fast, I wrote those programs that became law. That's Martin and Andy, my wife and me, and Sarah, who's a Jewish lawyer, works in the civil rights movement with me as a civil rights lawyer. Trying to find Rosa Parks. This is Rosa Parks. The next Rosa Parks. This is W.D. Muhammad, the son of Elijah Muhammad, and of course this is Martin King's son. I was the first person to bring the son of Elijah Muhammad and the son of Martin Luther King together. I was friends with both of their fathers. So I was the first person to bring them together with Rosa Parks. This is Jeremiah Wright with me and my wife. Jeremiah is is Barack Obama's pastor. But Jeremiah and I have been friends 50 years. In fact, the day he saw me this day, the first thing he said, "Peter, your hair is gray." I said, "Your hair is gray too." He been talking about my hair. This is Rosa Parks. We dedicated and named a shopping center for Mrs. Parks. And I had invited her to come to be there. And she said, "Oh, honey, I'm too old. I can't travel no more." And she was fooling me. So the day we dedicated, she showed up, made me cry. And she said, "Honey, I was just fooling you." So she flew here to be with me the day we dedicated that shopping center, black-owned shopping center that we named after Miss Parks. This is not Joke City. This stuff here is still going on. This is a company that we sued, and we won $14 million for black and Mexican families. So the history of our struggle continues. And we will always, as long as God allowed me to be Peter and breathe, I will always try to stand up and fight for justice for everybody and for all of God's children.
This is a very powerful picture right there. Can you tell me what it is?
This is
this little boy.
This little boy here, and you can see he's crying, and the police officer is called. Come here, Michael.
How are you, sir?
Come here. This is Michael Gonzalez.
How are you? Good to see you, my man. God bless you. You doing all right? You're looking good.
Michael, and one of the reasons I wanted Michael here, you know,
Pleasure.
Michael's aunt name was Adelpha Cahill. She's passed on. She was a Hispanic lawyer. Adelpha was probably she was on the level of Rosa Parks in terms of her leadership, not just for brown people, but for everybody. Me and my wife would have been homeless if it had not been for your aunt. I just loved her. I want a street and a school named after her, Michael.
Okay,
Here.
got it.
Now, before I leave this life, y'all gonna help me do that.
Definitely.
I want a street named for Adelpha, and I want a school named for Adelpha.
I got a school name for her.
Well, we're gonna get these things done
Okay.
for my friend Adelpha.
All right. For the streets, good. Okay.
Hey, this is former ambassador to the United Nations
Oh, wonderful. I'm honored
from
to
Sierra
meet you.
Leone, Africa.
Wow,
And
how impressive.
he was second in command under Bunky Mayan, secretary, undersecretary.
Sure, yeah.
And,
I majored in political science.
There we go.
So I'm somewhat
That's the
familiar
team.
with the process.
but they're here visiting me. So I'm gonna ask you, can we get together
Yeah, when?
tomorrow?
Tomorrow? What, same time?
Yeah, same time.
All right.
Yeah, and I'll buy lunch.
Okay, no
Okay,
problem.
because see, we got something important to do. He's come all the way from Africa for guacamole. I'm serious.
It really helped me. So by the time I got to Michigan State as a faculty member, I understood a little better the issues in America. And it was a great experience. But what you said about education is crucial. And anything in my political career now in back home. That's why I abandoned everything and went back.
I used to live in Chicago. So okay. I used to be a teamster with the United Parcel Service out of high school. Got the same amount of money so I could go to college.
I picked, one summer I was so broke I decided to go pick corn on the fields in Illinois. Yeah. And I was broke. And I said I need extra cash.
really broke to go.
These seed companies.
You mean you weren't collecting bottles and taking it to the store?
No, for me that one I just said, hey, somebody told me, say, hey, Candy, they're hiring people on the farm there. You know, you can go there quick. So for a week, and these are seed companies. So we pollinate the corn and then put a bag over it.
Yeah.
So I did that for about a week, got some change quickly.
Hey, it sure told you that you better continue your education, right?
Then I won an award. Then by then I was in the UN. I didn't even know the university had nominated me. And it's called the Seth Award for International Distinguished Alumni. Very competitive. And my college, I didn't know anything. I had left the university now over 10 years. They nominated me based on what they had seen of my career. I won it and came back to the University of Illinois in 2008 to receive it. And I had graduated already in 91. Now, on that day, I told them my story, that I left Cornell, put my things in a station wagon, graduate students at that point. Everything was in one station wagon. Came down to University of Illinois with about $2,500. By the time I paid the deposit for the room, paid the deposit for tuition, I was broke again. And 2 days later, everybody was laughing. I was looking for my cleaning job. I was looking for a cleaning job somewhere. So I said, well, so I feel very honored to stand here. And some of the faculty were there, especially from the minority community, the black community. And I said, is Dean Jeffries in the room? He will. I said, yeah, Dean Jeffries saved me here. I got a tuition waiver so I could continue my PhD. After 6 months, I had no money. Yeah.
Can I get everybody's attention for a minute? Well, can I have everybody? What we want to do is the restaurant where we're going to eat so he can get guacamole is about 2 blocks down the street from here. There's a serious problem with parking. So if you move your car, you may not get enough parking space. We were going to walk. Okay. And it's about 2 blocks, but I'm going to suggest that this beautiful sister here.
I could take 5 people.
Yeah, and let Fourier take the women in high heel shoes, and we'll just walk.
Okay. I'll bring the truck up to the front.
Yeah, so we'll go down to the first floor where we came in, and he'll come and pick you all up. But then we will walk with the so they can film us walking that. If that's okay. I just love them colors. Beautiful. Lift up my eyes into the hills from whence cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord. Thank you, Father, for the friendship and the fellowship, and thank you for the nourishment for our bodies. Keep us safe and healthy. We pray this in your kind and sweet Son Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. The former Dallas City Councilwoman, Carolyn King and not only that, she's my friend. And then just please, this is the ambassador from Shirley Long. Yeah.
Therefore, accept things with reality, put in reality to this. I said, what nothing but do to you. Just for taking time. Take it down, get it saved before they. I want to come home. I need good in reality, don't let very young guy. Hey, look at me here. Very important. Happy boy. Sierra Leone, I'm telling you, NGC is the way to go. Church one and church all. This life now they live overseas, one can do something. My paper make foolish. You know what I'm talking? Reality check. All this life we do in America, we will show how we learn. We come from nowhere. Today we are somewhere. And at the same thing we want spread na mama salon. We want change lives. We come up from a poor home. And not be even know Saruka America today as you don't be and the honorable be right there. You see, you're gonna be a dreamer. And when you dream, you put onto practice. When you put onto practice, it comes to pass. We have to put things in place. We therefore we dreams them in action. So we will make them physical. Poverty, greatness alone, you need for change. And it will change through hard work. Okay? Through hard work, you therefore get a mind. And the reason why you see some of food, they be KKY. The reason why some of food is being allergic colic, Kale Yumkela, is a man with a dream. He dreamed, and he not only stay within dream, he put in dream into practice. And the practice, it is spread around the entire country. If you know waiting better, begin think about your future, begin think about you begin the way you don't born it through the young generations. Because now we're going to do this together as one. Hard work, we put and we're going to sell this man. We're going to build this man up. We're going to put with confidence in her. So that the future will be brighter. The future will be successful. The International is out.
Spicy.
We need the information.
How would you know?
Who did the fundraising?
You're 1 mile ahead.
By the time the cameraman himself eat. So you know, she's that I've been knock. Yeah, they probably
We don't know kind of kinds and one less a long issue. Don't take care, don't wait for 10 days. And I don't want to go inside the parliament to be president. That will not be ready for so long not hungry, but it's hungry but able to work. One is the once. Let us say like a we, let us say it's fine. Let us do everything good. He said, "I will be glad for ceremony." So now I make you do this. So here, now all patients now do this. Go to pass now. Forget that. Everything when I say, I will say it with last and I don't take the.
I like that
I said it with last and I know.
Yeah. But then I've been the primary people. They wrote for 27 years, 2 days. They died in 1985 August 20. And my brother get the staff. The man who then get the staff, watching at the remarks we give. What the remarks we give by an. What's not money if you don't sell the staff here, not England. And there we go for go get the staff. The boy come on and show my book. He come meet me, say, Madam Bayo, he said, then don't sell the staff. And then he said, don't talk my detail. He said, then don't sell. I said, I tell me, pumping, they say, I work at the right way. Some of them pumping, and they said, no. Then the money they want, if you may not want money, well, as you know. So I fired it. Now we don't do now, come be the people who put it. If you pick it and not get it, and say 10%, I'm very grateful for it. Not in order, shop in order, mercy in order, but woman they die by themselves. Because it now have mercy in order. You do what you say, you see mercy in order. Water no the life no the nothing no the. Most kind of trouble this way we dey for level go inside this trouble. Let God be possible. Work for we. Let we enjoy. take care where we bring God for a long life on everybody. Anybody where they plan the bad for them, God will them give it. God will turn them bad. God will discuss them one by one. Now make this. Let them pay me a public which he did talk back, I will repeat that.
Thank you for having us.
I heard you guys cleaned up the lakes.
We had a small part.
Yeah, I've been down there.
Not the whole part.
It's a nice place.
But yeah, just one of my friends actually got me to go down there just because he was vacationing down there and said, "There's trash everywhere."
Interesting.
That's the problem we have.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to sit down for a while or walk around.
I would like to walk around so they can see what you do here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much a family business. My brother-in-law and I deal with most of the operations. This is the dispatch, which the driver supervisors and dispatchers.
Good to see you.
You know what third is? 175 split? Very well.
I think one of the things we talked before today about a couple times, one of the bigger things is having a specific kind of trucks that work well in neighborhood streets nowadays. It's real important if somebody that services that kind of truck locally, because it's something we're working on these every day all the time.
Right.
We've got two trucks that do something. One of them does people get used to having a trash pickup, and if somebody doesn't show up, it's something. So it's real important to try and use whatever local businesses exist for truck chassis and things like that. And make sure that there's somebody there that can service them and fix anything fairly quickly.
Move all your trash, so send it right down to the landfill.
We go straight to landfill. We actually chose this piece of property because we're about 3 miles from the landfill. And all the trucks go there last.
So once it gets to the landfill, what do you do?
The city of Dallas actually operates a landfill we use. And it's just a big operation where they're just constantly burying the trash.
Bearings.
Yeah,
Most of the cities look bigger than
and there's a recycling facility at the landfill. We take specific loads to. We have some trucks that only do recycling, paper, plastic.
Right.
And they go to that facility, same location, but it's all dumped there and sorted and recycled. And that's something job-wise usually helps out. But I'm talking about, the whole aspect of Belize is, the whole labor market's so much different than the United States.
Right, right.
They would rather have 10 more jobs than a machine. And so that works out fairly well for creating jobs also.
So for something like this to happen in Sierra Leone, in our country, one would have to designate a land somewhere for the dumping and for the continuous burying or what are you going to do so that land is not overfilled, and then what next?
There's a couple of options there. Landfill wise, we used to operate one ourselves. There's just a lot of safeguards to make sure that you're not polluting groundwater, any runoff.
Into the ocean. We do have an ocean.
Right, and it gets covered every day. There's a lot of operating procedures that you want to follow to make sure that that's done well. A lot of countries have started, it's kind of there's not really a waste to energy.
What did you do with that?
They're still in the process of cleaning it up. It's been there for 40 years.
So they're going to clean it up.
Yep, they're actually, I don't think they're actually moving 100% of it, but they are, it's right on the edge of the ocean too. So pretty close. There's actually mangrove forest that is gone out into it.
The reason I ask, that's exactly the situation we're in the capital, in our country. The new mayor wants to close one of the dump sites that we all know growing up.
Right.
And it's right in the middle of the city, next to the water, next to the ocean.
Yep.
There's a second dump site that has to be closed, so they're trying to get they're doing a feasibility study now. I don't know if it's financed by the World Bank or DFID to start a new landfill. But then the question is, what do you do with the two existing ones that have been there? Probably one of them, I suspect that dump site is maybe 80, 90 years old.
Try and find the best solution for either containing it or moving it. Moving it is really expensive. And the only time I've ever had to move part of a landfill was in Midland, Texas. Their old landfill, I put a highway through. And this is way back in the 80s. I got a contract to actually move the pipes where the road went and incorporate it into their existing landfill.
That's not amenable to incineration, anaerobic digestion.
More along the anaerobic digestion. Something that old probably does not have a lot of
organic
fuel.
Calorific.
Right. So probably the cheapest thing is trying to figure out how to contain it. Trying to leave it in place. Been there that long, the oldest stuff is probably set in pretty much. So it's not a stability issue. It's just making sure that whatever water's coming in isn't going straight back out into the water or the ocean. So it's a big job. And trying to actually clean up an old landfill is one whole task into itself. The company that's doing that, and believe is a Mexican company. They've got the contract to do that. It's pretty expensive.
Payment hundreds of more
But
dollars.
given where we're coming from, how sure are you that the studies we are done?
Okay, but all I'm saying is we don't need to spend.
We'll check. As I said, the municipality itself is doing one now.
Yeah.
Because they want to relocate the garbage.
Yeah, it needs to be relocated from the city.
So
but
let's see what information you need. Meanwhile, we'll also check what studies have been done, which can be sent over to you guys, and you can indicate, hey, we need additional information. I know from what the mayor has told me that yes, they're looking for anybody who is interested in helping.
Even initial contact here.
Solve that problems.
What do you do, Joseph? What is your job?
Solomon.
No, your job.
I'm more with the party and working with the party.
Okay. Trying to make things happen.
We are an organization, so he is the chairman of the organization.
Okay.
We are hosting our parliamentarian that's coming from.
Just trying to get the ball rolling and make things work.
Yeah.
I don't mind coming back after.
That would be great.
We know this was quick. The idea was that we get to know each other.
And I want to contribute to you because all of the stuff that Foday has shared with you and told you, this is something that we ought to do. And I want there's an urgency for me. The urgency is my power is where the young people pick up the phone and get money from the World Health Organization and the World Bank and the 86 years old. So we need
you up there too, Peter.
I have a lot of respect for Peter. He's been working at this my whole life. So
I appreciate all that you and your family. When I called, you've always said, yeah, people will get. I don't understand what you're saying.
Thank you very much.